We're going live to Venezuela as the people is remembering today the 194th anniversary of the death of Liberator Simón Bolívar. Let's see the live images.
Especial de milicias de la Guardia de Honor Presidencial.
Here it is, the territorial military militia from here to there of the military power of our militian people that is empowered more and more every day for the political power, strengthening democracy, the Bolivarian democracy, ahead of the threats of the empire. Here is a force ahead of the threats of fascists. Here's the people in arms with weapons at hand, willing to defend the homeland and give everything to defend the homeland in the face of threats, seizure, aggressions of imperialists and fascists. So, fellow President, here is this militia that today, in this anniversary of the immortality of the Liberator Simón Bolívar, creator of the military thinking, that today the Bolivarian armed forces of the Venezuelan people, in this anniversary of its creation, here are these men and women of the people following the example of the Liberator, of Commander Chavez, and of you, fellow President Nicolás Maduro. I'm going to leave General Commander of the Militia, Major General Romero Bolivar, to give his speech. Good afternoon, Chief Commander. Here is present the people attending the call of the homeland, same call made in 1810 when a group of men and women were called to Cabildo, ask him to deliver what was left of the Spanish colony to the people, and the Republic was born. At that moment, there were not military school, barracks, just the people, and there were born Bolivarian militia that Bolivar founded, and today it's 194th anniversary. Men and women of this generation that make up the first special component of our glorious armed forces come to say present to Venezuela, to the rest of the people that are not here, that is a protector weapon to defend our independence and freedom, love, tranquility, and peace of our homeland. So we will never forget that love for our homeland comes first, because together we will triumph, and our destiny is triumphant. Good afternoon. Applause to you. The bright sun of today, in a special day, December 17 of this year 2024, the 21st century, 194 years from today, we say goodbye to the greatest, the one who gave everything he had, his body, his life, even his wealth, because he was born in this city, in a wealthy household. But he gave up his wealth for the freedom of the peoples of America. And a day like today, 194 years ago, the good soul of the people's liberators, liberated by his sword, moved when, by running, the news of the passing of the liberator father. But he didn't die. He was still present, as Miguel Ángel Asturias poet would say, watching the destiny of its people. And this bright sun of this afternoon in Caracas reminds us that the ideal and the strength of Bolivar today rides more than ever in his home, Venezuela, the Bolivarian Venezuela. As the poet said, Pablo Neruda, Holy Father, that are in our land, water, of our silent latitude, everything has your name, Father, in our home. Your last name, sugarcane, sweetness. Bolivar has a special brightness. The Bolivar bird over the Bolivar potato, salt, shadow, currents, stones, everything that is ours comes from your life, your heritage, where rivers, plains, your heritage, it's our bread of every day, Father. And he would say forever, the great poet of America, Pablo Neruda, because Bolivar wakes up every 100 years when the people wakes up, and the people woke up here to never fall asleep again, to never be betrayed again. It woke up forever, the Bolivarian people. And here he is, become in worker, official, Malaysian. It's amazing, the images, I always say it, that have traveled the avenues of Caracas today, beautifying it. Happy day, that day in which, with the constituent organic law of the Bolivarian armed forces, it was recognized the historic role and incorporated to the Venezuelan legislation the Bolivarian National Militia as the fifth special component of the military forces of Venezuela to defend its sovereignty and its right to peace. Great images of a people that loves peace. That is what we love the most, the right of our families to live in peace, the right of our workers to work and prosperity, the right of our country for a century, thanks to Bolivar, Sucre, and so many more, to be Venezuelans, Latin Americans, to have a true republic, independent, sovereign. That is why happy day, when the National Constituent Assembly of Peace that we elected with the votes of the people, and that 30th of July 2017 approved in the name of the whole people of Venezuela that the Bolivarian National Militia were born and was backed by a constituent law of organic character based on the principles of the Constitution of 25 years ago. I want to greet the superior state of the Bolivarian Armed Forces. Great words of Major General Romero Bolivar, commander of the Bolivarian National Militia, professional officer of our army, and to all of the officials that in a very special way are together with the people building the military power of the National Bolivarian Militia in the fields, in the factories. I congratulate you in the name of it, Bolivar spirit. It's being constructed what is needed. I also congratulate ministers, militias that came building this power that is so important for our country. From here, I send greetings to the UPDs present here and all of the national structure of the National Bolivarian Militia, more than 4,300,000 militias in neighborhoods, fields, north to south, east to west. I want to thank the proposal made to me by the first lieutenant of militia, minister of the popular power for work, and professor of schools, Eduardo Piñate, of today, December 17, reactivating all of the bodies of fighters of the working class throughout the country in a new plan of defense, of active defense, of the right to peace, of production and productivity. Venezuela has a defensive system, a defensive concept that is perfect, inherited from centuries of fight, from Guaycaipuro, from José Leonardo Chirino, from Bolivar, Negro Primero, from Sucre, Urdaneta, from our General of the Sovereign People and its United Popular Revolutionary Army, Ezequiel Zamora, taking the best doctrines, universal doctrines, as the one of the Vietnamese people. Venezuela has the concept of war of the whole people to defend the homeland. That's the concept we have been implementing and building. And the protagonist of the concept, as the Constitution states from 25 years ago, the protagonist is the Venezuelan people. I was talking before arriving here at this impressive place, this militian place. What a great level of preparation, discipline, self-consciousness, and organization you have achieved. The Bolivarian and popular militia, national militia, a great concept taken to practice that is reflected in the permanent exercises and is shining today in this beautiful day where we remember the immortality of the Liberator. We have to empower more and more the peoples. If someone asked me, what's the key to make irreversible peace, sovereignty, independence, and the right to prosperity of Venezuela, to make irreversible the revolution of 21st century, I would say empowering and organizing the people every day. every day more. That is why we are in the right path, in the right direction of the great transformations of the country, brothers and sisters of the people, fellow mates, militians, men and women of good, patriots of Venezuela, empowering communities, empowering the workers, farmers, fishermen, indigenous communities, empowering the neighborhoods, urbanism. Never lose a single second in the process of empowering the working class. What we have called something developed by Chavez, historic popular bloc of a humanist advanced society and a socialist society of the 21st century, the powerful historic bloc, empowered in every sense. I might say, here is the capacity, integrated capacity, and constitutional and legal of the historic bloc of Venezuela, which is a peaceful historic bloc, but armed and ready to defend the homeland ahead of any threat or aggression. Preparing ourselves to guarantee peace and empower the people. The ancient concept of bourgeois democracy of the West, of elite democracy, is not applying here. Here, democracy is of the people, for the people, direct democracy, popular democracy, organized people, empowered people. And every day we see examples of it. Last Sunday, what a great example of power provided by the neighbors of all of the communal circuits of the country when they elected for the first time in history the communal justices of peace that communities have elected by popular vote. I congratulate communities. I congratulate the justices that were elected. I've been watching you and listening to you by social media. Accelerate and deepen the construction of the power of the people. The people has its justices and is exercising judicial power in communities in its territory. Likewise, building self-government, popular self-government. This year we have had an amazing experience with the 2 consultations so that the people elects and votes the necessary project for their communities, and then the resources go directly to them without intermediaries, without mediators, so that the community builds what they need, schools and everything else. Next year, we are going to carry out 4 direct consultations in the sense of direct resources in the 5,297 communal circuits. And I set a date for the first election of 2025, and it will be on Sunday, January 26, 2025, the first election of the next year, to empower the people. Popular self-government, the capacity of consultation, decision. How is that called? Dictatorship or democracy? Democracy of elites or popular democracy? And what do we want in Venezuela? That elites rule, oligarchies ruling, last names, or that those who have the right ruling is the people, are the people. And we're building and constructing self-government. We need to strengthen, fellow mates, the communal parliament. So when we talk about public powers, we're not only talking about powerful institutions, which might be the 5 Venezuelan powers: executive power, the people here; legislative power, the National Assembly; judicial power, powerful in the streets. Applause to all of the magistrates and justices for their great role in the elections of communal justices of the peace. And the electoral powers and the citizen civic power. We're building self-government, communal councils, communes, self-government, judicial power, justices elected by the people. Amazing how we are advancing. Moral power, civic power. We need to relaunch it. The power of the people that says the truth. Build the powers, the economic power of the people. Empower it in every sense. And strengthen the capacity of leadership and base. This country needs to get ready to have a democracy every time more advanced at the hands of the people, not at the hands of elites. In the same measure, we go deep in the building of a new power. In that same measure, threats of fascism and of last name and their allies, national and internationally, will disappear. And if something was lacking to the power of self-government, of justice, economical power, the power of vote, these people then also, along with its powerful and heroic Bolivarian armed forces, admirals, officers, this power might have in all communities, all factories, and all work centers, military power at hands. The National Bolivarian Militia, the bodies, the corps of fighters, of farmers, indigenous communities, of fishermen. What a wonderful thing what we're building, based on effort, consciousness, a new ideology, born from the Venezuelan Republic. No one has given us anything, and we are not imitating anybody. Our revolution is pure Venezuelan, Latin American, and Caribbean, and was born from our heroes and heroines. Our revolution was born from the 3 roots, fed from the sources of so many anonymous heroes. Our revolution was born from the powerful resilience of Caribbean Indians, of Huaycaipuro, and so many others. It was born from the beautiful Third Republic In a day like this, Liberator Simón Bolívar signed and published an official way, in Orinoco Angostura, the decree of creation of the Republic of the Great Colombia. 1819, 205 years. He was coming already successful from Boyacá, and he didn't stop. So our ideas, our doctrines, our values that push us towards the future in this 21st century were born here under this beautiful sun, under this sky, under this land. A week ago, we were celebrating with our people and the peoples of our America the 200 years of the great victory of the Battle of Ayacucho that ended in a successful way with the campaign of the liberation of the South. 200 years, and our history comes from there. That is why Venezuela is so important to take care of it, because we're not only taking care of the right to peace and the existence of present and future generation, which is already beautiful. We're not only taking care of our wealth, our riches, which is ours. It doesn't belong to anybody else. But we are also taking care of the spiritual wealth, richness that we can inherit to the future generation and show it to humanity. We are taking care of the spiritual, political, and military legacy of the liberators of America, of those who founded an entire continent, of those who built popular armies, revolutionary armies. It's so great what we take care of, what we treasure. But the best way to take care of something is building, making, developing ideas, the original ideas of our three roots in the present, is foreseeing the future. We have had a 2024 very good and beautiful. I wish you, to all of the military family of Venezuela, the militian family of Venezuela, and the whole people of Venezuela, blessed Christmas, and get ready to welcome a 2024 with welfare, blessed, in peace, and happy. In the next days, we will be getting ready to welcome Jesus Christ and getting ready to welcome New Year's Eve. No one will disrupt the right to happiness, to Christmas and New Year's Eve in peace in Venezuela. If you understood, you understood. No one will disrupt it, and we will be in charge of preserving the right to peace, tranquility, and happiness of the 30 millions of Venezuelans, because when we do it for all. It's an important day. Here are gathered a team of 300 leaders of the Congress of the Historic Bloc, preparing plans for 2025, 2030, getting ready and preparing us so that historic bloc that born from 200 years of fight and unites the Venezuelans consolidates in the first quarter of the next year and expresses the capacity of building self-popular government, popular movement, popular power, democracy, participatory democracy, true democracy. 194 years after, Bolivar is still with us. I will say something to you, a very special feeling I have since I was a child. I never thought that I was going to become president and I will be in this position, commander-in-chief of a Bolivarian armed force so beautiful as the one we have. But I can tell you, and my wife knows that it is this way. December 17th, I don't know you, but this is the first time I say this. Always on December 17th, since I was a child, I felt sadness, like I felt like crying. That was the day in which we were told that Bolivar left us there in Santa Marta. From here, I sent greetings to the people of Santa Marta who welcomed Commander Chavez when we visit them. Those people of Santa Marta took to the streets in an impressive way. I remember how the then President Juan Manuel Santos couldn't avoid showing his envy, because you know that people does not want that traitor oligarchy. And Chavez arrived and people took to the street, thousands of people, humble people, people from the streets of Santa Marta. That people of Santa Marta, that people of Colombia, love Venezuela, love Bolivar, love our revolution, and admired the Bolivarian revolution of the 21st century. And from here, we send a great greetings to the people of Colombia, brothers and sisters, always together, Colombia and Venezuela. Treasons of Santander will never be imposed again. The unity of our peoples, we need to strengthen it and base it in the love of ourselves for Colombia and that humble men and women of Colombia for Venezuela. And I was feeling that. Let's upgrade Jacobo to lieutenant of militia. You're from Caracas also, right? I know you since 40 years ago in Caracas. Raised here in Chacao. You're a neighbor from Chacao and Maracao. Two great indigenous caciques. And I had that feeling. And I say that year after year, the feeling is the same. I was very moved in this act because I feel the spirit of Bolivar in our people. Because I feel that Bolivar tells us from the sun that I'm with you. Because I feel Bolivar present in the revolutionary people, in the fighting people, in the national militia, in its troops. I feel that our liberator your ideas, example, and sacrifice saw and came the great returner of Bolivarianism, the one who saw return your ideas, came back. Commander Hugo Rafael Chávez Frías, the follower of the ideas of Bolivar, of the original project, of which we have swore loyalty. But we did it in a truthful way. We're men and women who swear truly, because here in this land, Venezuela, the Jerusalem of America, they call it, the Venezuela that saw the armies and generals and soldiers being born, traveling this country 200 years ago. This Venezuela that is an example of dignity, courage, patriotism, and humanism in the 21st century. Here in this Venezuela, when we swear, we do it with our life, with our heart, and with the truth. And I believe that today it's an opportunity. Fighters of the working class. We have here the 1st Brigade. I announced 7 days ago that the military house in a new concept is going to incorporate the militia forces of the Great Caracas to ensure the protection not only of the president but also of Miraflores and also of the Venezuelan people, uniting to the earned glories of the Guard of Honor of participating in Boyacá, in Carabobo, in Bomboná, in Pichincha, Junín, and 200 years ago being the triumphers of Ayacucho. So I here present ahead of you the 1st Brigade of Militians of the Guard of Presidential of Honor that has the name of Militians, Triumphers of Ayacucho. We need to build and advance. Everyone on its field. Everyone needs to improve this country from their position. If you have to sell hot dogs at a corner in Venezuela, do the best ones, healthy and tasty. If your duty is to watch the border in a guard position, do it. If your duty is taking care of the energy service against permanent sabotage, keep fighting that we are succeeding. If you are workers of PDVSA, following the plans to recover efforts, investments, and the production of oil that has achieved 1 million and it's going to achieve 2 and 3 and 4, producing oil, gas, and taking care of the facilities from sabotage. Remember the sabotage with bombs that took place in the gas central. Although we recovered it in a record time thanks to the working class. Workers of the transportation, drivers of buses, of trucks, of motors, workers of the subway of Caracas, of the trains. If your duty every day is provide a service, do it with love, with the people, always hugging the people, and granting the security of all of the transportation systems of the country. If you workers of cement have to produce as you have to, achieving 100% of the capacity planned, I can give you an information that I have here. We are producing enough cement for national consumption. I'm getting great investments that were signed and I'm entering the country because we are going to get the installation capacity of Venezuela to 100%. And with 30%, we cover the capacity to build homes for the people, which is the main idea, so that cement is in the market at a good price, so those who want to build it. And the rest of it, you know what's going to happen with it. You know what's going to happen with the rest of production. We're going to export it, and money is going to come in to invest in the people, in the workers, new income sources, new income sources. We saw it with you, Becky Beck. We have new plans that will be known to get the productive capacity to 100% and new plans with international alliance, because Venezuela has to be, as Commander Chavez said, the petrochemical powerhouse of the 21st century. What else can I say to you who are the working class, who work with your hands as our Lord Jesus Christ? Our Lord Jesus Christ, who was he? A children who was born with his father Jose and his mother Maria gave him birth, and what he was a worker, is a worker Jesus that blesses and protects us. We have everything, workers. Let's keep building that national union, the peace of Venezuela. Let's keep defeating fascists. Let's keep defeating terrorism. It doesn't matter if it comes from outside or inside. Let's keep taking care of each enterprise, each company. And I want today, the day of Bolivar, the day of the immortality of Bolivar, swear in ahead of his sword, before of this sun, before of the open heart and beautiful heart of yours, brothers and sisters of the working class, militians of the country. You, wherever you see me, we're in national broadcasting, live, and also in social media. Wherever you see me, put your hand in your heart. Here is the original sword that was in the hands of our Liberator Simón Bolívar, with which it directed the Battle of Carabobo. It was delivered to me by his great children of General Aldaneta, so that I have it in my hands. In the leadership of his victorious years in which we have moved forward. I wanted to take it out today. Look how it shines with the sun of this Caracas, of the Liberator. Because here, with his example, his sword and his spirit, we are going to swear, militians. I swear before God, before the Liberator sword of Carabobo, I swear by our liberators. I swear for Venezuela. I swear by our Supreme Commander Hugo Chavez that I will not rest my heart and soul until we entirely consolidate the Popular Civic Police Unit and guarantee peace and union of Venezuela. I had all of the threats and aggressions. I swear that in all of the working centers of Venezuela, we will reactivate in a powerful way the fighting corps of the working class, so that in a perfect union with the National Bolivarian Armed Forces, we guarantee the advancement of a powerful Venezuela, of a Venezuela in peace, without anyone or anything disrupting it. I swear it for Bolivar. I swear it for the homeland. You are sworn in as fighting corps of the working class and go to battle and always to victory. Congratulations, men and women of the homeland. Congratulations.
Este toque de oración, ¿saben? Debes recordarles diariamente
This
el juramento
must
sagrado
remind you
que hemos prestado
the
hoy
secret
ante esta espada
swearing that we have made today before this sword of Carabobo, with which our liberator conducted the great victory of the campaign of Carabobo and defeated the imperial troops.
gloriosa historia,
Glorious history,
hombres y mujeres,
men and women,
gloriosa forma
glorious way
de recordar
of reminding
al espíritu inmortal
the immortal spirit
del Libertador,
of the Liberator,
traído y resucitado para el siglo XXI.
brought and resuscitated for the 21st century by our commander Chavez. And we can scream today before the sun in this Venezuela, Chavez is alive and Bolivar is alive. Independence and socialist homeland. The sun of Venezuela comes from the Essequibo, always loyal. Long live for the police, military, civic union. Long live for the National Bolivarian Militia. Long live for the homeland. Honored ever to victory. We will triumph. Thank you very much.
We were live to Caracas, Venezuela in the framework of the 194th anniversary of the passing of Liberator Simón Bolívar to immortality. With the sword with which Liberator fought the Carabobo fight in his hand, President Nicolás Maduro addressed the national militias and assured that the people is willing to keep Bolívar's legacy alive for many reasons, but especially for his role in fighting against colonialism in Venezuela and Latin America, for being a creator and guide of the military thought of Venezuela. Addressing those present in a massive march, President Nicolás Maduro made a call to empowering communities and organizing the people every day and empowering Latin America in honor of Bolívar's struggle for the most dispossessed classes, for the union of all America, for the internationalism and anti-imperialism that mark his trajectory. And with this information, we invite you to stay tuned with TeleSUR for more details on this historic day for the Venezuelan people.